Good morning, students. So in this video, we'll explain the consolidated financial statements. So first of all, what are the provisions applicable to consolidated financial statements? Provisions applicable to consolidated financial statements. There are three things. One is preparation, and next one is adoption, and the next one is audit. Three things: preparation, adoption, and audit. So what are the provisions applicable to how to prepare the financial statements? Preparation by management, adoption by shareholders, by audit by auditors. So for all these three activities, same provisions applicable for standalone financial statements of holding company, and consolidated financial statements. Okay, right? Same provisions relating to preparation, adoption, and audit. Same provisions are applicable for standalone financial statements of holding company and also consolidated financial statements. Same provisions. Therefore, accounting standards are applicable, as well as Schedule 3 is also applicable for consolidated financial statements. Accounting standards and Schedule 3 is applicable for consolidated financial statements. Accounting standards as well as Schedule 3 is applicable for consolidated financial statements. Okay, right. Now, that is the thing. Now, what are the components of consolidated financial statements? Or you are saying consolidated financial statements. What are all included in the consolidated financial statements? These are the applicable provisions, I should say. Applicable provisions. These are applicable provisions. Which provisions are applicable to consolidated financial statements with respect to preparation, adoption, and audit? So with respect to preparation, adoption, and audit, whatever the provisions applicable to standalone financial statements of holding company, the same provisions are applicable to consolidated financial statements of a subsidiary company. Whatever the standalone provision, what provisions applicable to standalone financial statements of holding company also applies to consolidated financial statements. Okay, accounting standards as well as Schedule 3 is applicable. Next question is components of consolidated financial statements. Components of consolidated statements. Sir, what are all included in the consolidated statements? So what are all included in the consolidated statements? Number one, financial statements of holding company. Plus, okay, financial statements of holding company plus financial statements of Indian subsidiary, plus financial statements of foreign subsidiary, plus financial statements of associate company, next financial statements of joint venture companies. Okay, because for the purpose of consolidation, section 129 says subsidiary includes associate, whereas section 2 says associate includes joint venture. So therefore subsidiary plus associate plus joint venture. So therefore in total consolidated financial statements is equal to holding company plus subsidiary company plus associate company plus joint venture company. Okay, in total consolidated financial statements is equal to holding company, subsidiary company, associate company, and joint venture company. Because section 2 says, okay, section 129 says subsidiary includes associate. Section 2 says associate includes joint venture. Section 129 says subsidiary includes associate. Section 2 says associate includes joint venture. So therefore components of consolidated financial statements shall consist of these financial statements. But here the important concept is that, so holding company plus foreign subsidiary. Okay, so holding company plus Indian subsidiary, CFS required. Holding company, Indian subsidiary, CFS required. Sir, I don't have any associate, or I don't have a joint ventures. I don't have foreign subsidiary also. Can I prepare consolidated statements? Answer is yes. It's not that mandatorily they have to be included. If you have an associate company, if you have a joint venture company, then include it. It's not that mandatorily to be included. If you don't have associate, if you don't have subsidiary, then ignore it. Then ignore it. If you have only Indian subsidiary, then consolidated financial statements are required. Then consolidated statements are required. Sir, I have holding company plus Indian subsidiary plus foreign subsidiary. I have India holding company plus Indian subsidiary plus foreign subsidiary. Then CFS is required. Then CFS is required. I have only holding company plus Indian company plus foreign company. Then CSS is required. The important point is that, sir, I don't have Indian subsidiary. I don't have Indian associate. I don't have Indian joint venture. I have only foreign subsidiary. Holding company plus foreign subsidiary. Holding company plus foreign subsidiary. Holding company plus foreign subsidiary. CFS not required. Holding company plus foreign subsidiary. No, I don't have any Indian subsidiary. CSR not required. If I have only Indian subsidiary, then CSR is required. If I have Indian subsidiary plus foreign subsidiary, also CSR required. But if I have only foreign subsidiary, then CSR is not required. Then CSR is not required. On the other hand, sir, if I have holding company, but only associates and joint ventures, I don't have subsidiaries. I don't have subsidiaries. I have only holding company, and I have associates and joint ventures. I don't have subsidiary company. I don't have subsidiary company. I have only associate and joint venture. Whether I have to prepare CFS, the answer is yes. CFS is required. CFS is required. If I have only holding and associate and joint venture, I don't have subsidiary, then I need not prepare a CFS. I have to prepare CFS. I have to prepare CFS. Okay, holding plus associate plus joint venture, I have to prepare CFS. Okay, right. This is the important point. Now, holding company plus foreign subsidiary plus associate or joint venture. Whether CFS is required, answer is yes, CFS is required. Consolidated financial statements is required. Okay, these are the things. So holding, if I have only Indian subsidiary, CFS is required. If I have both Indian subsidiary plus foreign subsidiary, also CSR required. But if I have only foreign subsidiary, CSR is not required. But if I have only associates and joint ventures, but I don't have subsidiaries, then CFS is not required. Then CFS is not required. So these are the two important things we need to remember. These are the two important points. Okay, so holding company having only foreign subsidiary, CSR is not required. Holding company having associate and joint venture only, that it does not have any subsidiary. Even then CFS is required. Okay, so only Indian subsidiary company, yes, CSF has to be prepared. Okay, so these are the components of consolidated financial statements and what are all included in the consolidated financial statements. Next, so when consolidated financial statements is not required, when consolidated financial statements is not required. Okay, for which companies consolidated financial statements not required? For which companies consolidated financial statements not required? Okay, so unlisted company, first thing, it should be unlisted company. It should be unlisted company. It should be unlisted company. Okay, it has a holding company. It has one or more holding companies. It has one or more holding companies. It has one or more subsidiary companies. It has one or more subsidiary companies. These are all and. Remember, these are all and, not or. And. These are all and. So it should be an unlisted company. It has one or more holding company. It has one or more subsidiary companies. It has one or more subsidiary companies. It has given notice to all its members. 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 Sir, what is this all members? Sir, what is this all its members? Holding company as well as minority interest. Holding company as well as minority interest. Holding company as well as minority interest. This minority interest with voting rights, without voting rights. This minority interest with voting rights and without voting rights. So I am a company. Say for example, here what I am discussing is, if you look at these three companies, ABC, DEF, MNO. Now I am talking about exemption to this MNO. I am talking about exemption to this MNO. I'm talking about exemption to this MNO. So ABC and DEF, ABC is a holding and DEF is a subsidiary. In return, DEF is a holding and ABC MNO is a subsidiary. DEF is a holding and MNO is a subsidiary. Indirectly, I should say ABC is a holding and MNO is a subsidiary. So this is a subsidiary relationship between these two, and there is a subsidiary relationship between ABC and MNO also. Okay, the ABC, DEF, MNO. ABC is a DEF is a subsidiary of ABC, and MNO is a subsidiary of DEF. So therefore, indirectly, MNO is also subsidiary of ABC. Now I am talking about exemption to DF. Exemption to DF. In addition to ABC, there will be some other shareholders also in DF, minority shareholders. In addition to, say for example, ABC is holding 80%. For example, ABC is holding 80%. Who are holding other 20% shares in DF? That is called as minority shareholders. Okay, ABC is holding 80% stake in DF. So the other 20% is called minority shareholders. So DF has to give notice to ABC. So who it means what? It means I'm talking about DEF. I'm talking exemption about DF. I'm talking exemption about DF. So who is holding to DF? ABC is holding to DF. ABC is holding to DF. So to ABC has to give, sorry, DF has to give notice to ABC as well as to other minority shareholders, These minority shareholders may be with voting rights or without voting rights. That minority shareholders may be with voting rights or without voting rights. It has to give notice to all its members. Then after giving notice, it has to retain the proof of sending notice. It has to retain the proof of sending notice. It has to retain the proof of sending notice. It has to retain the proof of sending notice. It has to retain the proof of sending notice. Next, it should obtain no objection from all members. 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 From all members, holding company, minority, with voting rights and without voting rights, it should obtain no objection from all members. Next, its immediate or ultimate, its immediate holding company or its ultimate holding company. Its immediate holding company or its ultimate holding company. Its immediate holding company or its ultimate holding company. Its immediate holding company or its ultimate holding company prepares consolidated financial statements. Prepares consolidated financial statements. How they have prepared? In accordance with accounting standards and filed with ROC. Its immediate holding company and its ultimate holding company prepare consolidated financial statements in accordance with accounting standards, and it has to file with ROC. Sir, what is this immediate and what is this ultimate? What is this immediate and what is this ultimate? Say for example, till now we have discussed only 3 companies, but there are the chances that ABC, DEF, MNO, ABC, DEF, MNO, or I should say RST, ABC, DEF, MNO, ABC, DEF, MNO. So therefore, this is ABC. The ABC is immediate holding company or intermediate holding company. I should say immediate or intermediate holding company. So ABC is immediate holding company to DF or intermediate holding company to DF. ABC is immediate holding company to DF or intermediate holding company to DF. So this RST is ultimate holding company or also known as parent company. Ultimate holding company, also known as parent company. Ultimate holding company, also known as parent company. Okay, ABC, DF. So ABC is immediate or intermediate holding company to DF, whereas RST is ultimate holding company or parent company. So if RFS files consolidated financial statements with ROC, or ABC files consolidated statements with ROC, or not and or if either RST files CFS with ROC or ABC files CFS with ROC, DF is exempted. DF is exempted. So therefore, in order to claim exemption for DF, either ABC should file CFS with ROC or RST should file CFS with ROC. Okay, that is intermediate or parent, ultimate, intermediate or immediate holding company, ultimate holding company or parent company. So these are the 3 things. First thing, we have to understand what are the provisions applicable to consolidated financial statements. Same provisions like holding company statements. Okay. Preparation, adoption, and audit, and components of consolidated statements, what are all included in the consolidated statements. Okay. Next, apart from that, for which companies consolidated statements is not required. Now, so one more thing I have to discuss here. Okay, one more thing I have to discuss here: audit, sending, and laying. Audit, sending, and laying. So what is audit? Holding company should get audit holding company should get audit for its standalone statements. Holding company should get audit for its standalone financial statements and consolidated financial statements. Consolidated financial statements. So audit is applicable to which companies? Standalone financial statements plus consolidated financial statements. Audit is applicable to both. Audit is applicable to both standalone financial statements as well as consolidated financial statements. Sending. So who has to send what? Holding company to shareholders of holding company. Holding company to shareholders of holding company. What holding company has to send to the shareholders of the holding the subsidiary company? Sorry, holding company. Holding company to shareholders of 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 holding company. So what are the documents to be sent by the holding company to the shareholders of holding company? So first one, standalone financial statements of holding company plus consolidated financial statements plus silent futures. Silent futures means important points. Important points. Silent futures of financial statements of subsidiaries. Financial statements of subsidiaries. Okay, sending. So what are the documents? What are the documents which should be sent by the holding company to the shareholders of the holding company? 3 financial statements: standalone financial statements completely, consolidated financial statements completely, and silent futures of financial statements of subsidiaries. Silent futures of financial statements of subsidiaries. That is sending. That is sending. Next, laying. Laying or adoption. Laying or adoption. So before the AGM, before the shareholders at AGM, before the shareholders at AGM of holding company. At AGM of holding company. At AGM of holding company. At AGM of holding company, what are the documents to be produced by the holding company to the shareholders of the holding company for their approval? For their approval. Laying means adoption, acceptance of financial statements by the shareholders at the AGM is called laying down. What is meant by laying and adoption? What is meant by laying and adoption? Producing before the shareholders and acceptance by shareholders at the AGM. At the AGM. So what they have to accept and what they have to produce? Only 2 things: standalone financial statements as well as consolidated financial statements. That's it. Okay. So here only these 3. While sending, we have to send all the 3. While sending, we have to send all the 3. While sending, we have to send all the 3. Send 3 statements. Audit 2 statements. Laying 2 statements. Okay, so holding company has to send, holding company has to get audit for both standalone financial statements as well as consolidated financial statements. After audit, so these are the sequence 1, 2, 3. First audit will happen, thereafter sending will happen, thereafter laying or adoption. So when we are doing the audit, we have to do the audit for both standalone financial statements as well as consolidated financial statements. When we are sending the financial statements to shareholders, we have to send standalone, consolidated plus silent features of financial statements of subsidiary. Okay, laying. Before the AGM, what are the documents to be produced? Standalone financial statements as well as consolidated financial statements. Okay, right. So these are all complete. These are all complete about consolidated financial statements. So in the next lectures, we'll discuss about the board report. Okay, thank you.